On the second day, we arrived early in the morning at Tullamarine Airport in Melbourne. After picking up 3 rental vehicles, we set out on our journey to Halls Gap in the breathtaking Grampians National Park. Along the way, we stopped in Ballarat to stock up on supplies. Once we reached our cosy bush lodge, we chose our rooms, unpacked, and enjoyed a relaxed dinner to wrap up the day. On the third day, we woke up to a delightful surprise. A friendly wallaby hanging out by our back door. After preparing a hearty breakfast of bacon, we headed into the small town of Halls Gap, the heart of the Grampians National Park. The Grampians is a sprawling mountain range covering over 1,600 square kilometres, known for its dramatic sandstone peaks, stunning waterfalls and rich Indigenous history, including ancient rock art sites. The township itself is quite modest, with just a few shops catering to visitors. On the way, we pulled over at a paddock and were thrilled to spot several emus and kangaroos casually wandering around, giving us our first taste of the local wildlife in its natural habitat. On the fourth day, we headed to Mackenzie Falls, one of the most popular and breathtaking spots in the Grampians. The waterfall is a powerful cascade, tumbling over steep cliffs into a picturesque pool below, surrounded by lush greenery. Justin, Nicole and the boys took the steep trail down the base of the falls, where they could feel the cool mist and enjoy the view up close. The rest of us stayed at the lookout above, which offered a fantastic panoramic view of the falls and the surrounding gorge. Afterwards, we visited several of the park's stunning viewpoints, including the balconies, with its dramatic rock formations and sweeping views of the valley. Later, we stopped in town again and were treated to a delightful gathering of Australian birds. We saw magpies with their distinctive chortling call, yellow-crested cockatoos screeching loudly, colourful rosella parrots, and another striking species. Australia does in fact boast the largest collection of parrots in the world, with over 50 native species, making this encounter a perfect highlight for bird enthusiasts. On the fifth day, we packed up and said goodbye to Halls Gap, making our way to Ballarat. This historic town, known for its role in the 1850s gold rush, once drew thousands of prospectors hoping to strike it rich. The legacy of this era can still be felt in Ballarat's beautifully preserved architecture and cultural attractions. Our next stop was the Ballarat Wildlife Park, where we had the amazing opportunity to interact with some of Australia's iconic animals. Everyone was especially excited to pet the koalas, which are known for their soft fur and shy, gentle nature. Koalas are marsupials that spend most of their time sleeping or munching on eucalyptus leaves, which provide both their food and water. Though they appear calm, they're naturally reserved and prefer minimal interaction, so it was a rare treat to get close to them. That evening, we had our family gathering, a memorial event covered in detail on day 6. On Sunday, we'd planned a family picnic, but the weather turned out to be so chilly that my brother David arranged for us to gather in a cosy room at the racetrack instead. This turned out to be a fantastic decision, as it allowed us to enjoy a warm and comfortable setting for our meal and celebration. David put together an incredible slideshow tracing the history of our parents and their life in Australia all the way to the present day. It was a meaningful tribute that brought back many memories and sparked heartfelt conversations. This was the first time my grandchildren had been to Australia, and they finally got to meet their cousins and extended family, making it a truly special occasion. For me, it was a rare and wonderful chance to spend quality time with my brothers. David's kids added a playful touch by providing custom t-shirts that read, "The boys are back in town," which brought plenty of smiles and laughter. The evening was filled with joy and everyone had an absolute blast. The highlight of the night was the presentation of the infamous heavy toilet weight from my mother's old clothes hoist. This quirky artifact had been the source of endless amusement for the kids over the years and sparked plenty of nostalgia and laughter as it was passed around. It was the perfect way to cap off a memorial family gathering.
That's it. Good old film it on here, Justin.
Close up, zoom in.
Zoom in. Zoom it in quick, get it on that. On this.
Gotta get on this side.
On this.
Let's get a break going.
Really need an old walk past. That's what we did last time.
It's not happening, man.
Just damn.
On day 7, we set out from Ballarat to visit the stunning 12 Apostles rock formation along the Great Ocean Road. These iconic limestone stacks rise dramatically from the Southern Ocean, shaped by centuries of erosion. The 12 Apostles are one of Australia's most famous natural landmarks, attracting visitors with their majestic presence and the spectacular coastal views. While only 8 of the original stacks remain, they continue to be a breathtaking sight. After taking in the awe-inspiring views, we passed through Colac and headed towards Geelong. Once there, we visited my parents' grave, a meaningful stop to honour their memory. That evening we arrived in Geelong, a city that holds a special place in my heart. Geelong is home to Godfrey Hirst, the company where I worked for 10 years. During my time there, I invented the jet printer, also known as the Titan, and later sold one to Burlington Industries in the US. This transaction became a pivotal moment in my life as it ultimately played a key role in our migration to the United States in 1979. Geelong, with its rich history and personal significance, will always be an important part of our family story. On day 9, our first full day in Sydney, those of us who weren't battling a head cold made our way to Bondi Beach. Bondi is one of the most famous beaches in Australia, known for its golden sands, great surf and laid-back atmosphere. They spent some time walking along the coast soaking up the sun and watching surfers ride the waves. In the afternoon, we all gathered at Circular Quay, a bustling harbourside area that's a central hub for tourists and locals alike. From there, we had stunning views of Sydney's iconic landmarks, including the Sydney Harbour Bridge, which towers over the harbour, and the Opera House with its distinctive sail-like architecture. The area was lively with street performers and tourists snapping photos. While at Circular Quay, we also had a chance to see Aboriginal performers playing traditional instruments like the didgeridoo, a wind instrument made from a hollowed-out tree trunk, and wooden sticks used in rhythmic music. It was a fascinating experience that gave us a glimpse into Australia's rich Indigenous culture. We tried navigating the subway system, but after a while, we found that using Uber was a much easier and smarter way to get around the city. On day 10, our last day in Australia, we spent the afternoon visiting the Royal Botanic Gardens, one of Sydney's most beautiful and historic landmarks. The gardens stretch across 30 hectares along the Sydney Harbour, offering breathtaking views of the water and the city skyline. Established in 1816, the garden is one of the oldest scientific institutions in the country. It's home to a wide variety of plant species, both native and exotic, and features stunning landscapes with lush lawns, colourful flower beds and peaceful walking paths. We took our time exploring the gardens, enjoying the tranquility of the diverse plant life, including ancient cycads, towering fig trees and vibrant Australian natives. The garden is also rich in cultural significance, having originally been used by the Indigenous people of the area for food, medicine and ceremony. Afterwards, we headed to the Art Gallery of New South Wales, where we had the chance to explore the extensive collection of Aboriginal art. The gallery has one of the most significant collections of Indigenous Australian art, showcasing both traditional and contemporary works. The history of the Aboriginal art dates back thousands of years with its deep cultural roots in storytelling, rituals and connections to the land. We were captivated by the vivid colours and intricate patterns of the paintings, as well as the powerful symbolism behind the works. The collection features a range of mediums from dot painting and bark arts to sculptures and modern installations. We wrapped up our day with a final meal in Sydney, savouring the flavour of Australian cuisine, maybe. As we prepared for our early departure the next day, we packed our bags, reflecting on the amazing experiences we'd had and the memories we take home from this unforgettable trip. On day 11, we headed to Sydney's Kingsford Smith Airport, officially known as Sydney Airport, to catch our flight home. Kingsford Smith has a rich history, having been officially opened in 1920, named after Sir Charles Kingsford Smith, a famed Australian aviator who made groundbreaking long-distance flights. It's one of the busiest airports in the Southern Hemisphere and serves as a major international hub. After navigating the airport, we boarded our flight back to Los Angeles. The long journey was time for us to rest, but also to reflect on all the amazing experiences we had in Australia. Upon arrival at LAX, we all dispersed to our respective flights, each of us heading home with tired bodies but full hearts. We were exhausted, but the memories of the breathtaking landscapes, vibrant cities and rich cultural experiences we'd had in Australia stayed with us. It was a trip we would always remember, filled with adventure, learning and new bonding.